Monday Night Raw was enjoyable this week. The only segment I did not truly care for was the Bloodline segment that opened up the show because it was just a paint by numbers acknowledgement. No drama, no nothing, just straightforward. Jacob Fatu falls in line. Now, there are some subtle things that you notice with the Usos and even Jacob. It seems like, he's going to be kind of reluctant, and we know how this story is going to turn out for the most part. I hope they add some layers to it to make it more interesting than instead of just rerunning it like they did with the original Bloodline story, because it's really feeling like Jacob Fatu is subbed in for Sami Zayn. But there's so many different ways this can go. He's an actual member of the family. There's a lot. So I'm going to give it some time, but look out for I'm going to do an entire Bloodline video where I'm going to talk about the Bloodline. So look out for that later in the week. But this was the one segment I was kind of, I wish it would have been a little more dramatic. We had a couple of we had a King of the Ring qualifying match, and we had a Queen of the Ring qualifying match won by Oba Femi, who absolutely dominated the match. They made him look like a superstar and a monster following his loss to Brock Lesnar, just like they needed to. They're kind of booked into a corner though, because Brock Lesnar just beat him at Clash in Italy, and now he's gone on to King of the Ring, and this is something he kind of needs to win, but I don't see a path for him to win that makes sense now. And the only way that, because the first round match is a fatal 4-way, that's the easiest way to get someone out of the tournament, because you don't have to get them pinned or whatever. You can easily have them outside of the ring and somebody else get the pin and take the loss, so you don't have to beat them. But from here on out, it's one-on-one matches. And so the only thing that would make sense doesn't actually make sense, that would cost him, which would be Brock Lesnar interfering and costing him the King of the Ring tournament. Unless somehow he gets disqualified, which is going to be lame as if he gets disqualified and that's how he gets bounced out, that's lame. I'm sorry. And then Io Sky won the Queen of the Ring qualifying match. So Oba and Io are moving on to the next round. We had a really good main event between Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. This match was really, really good. It closed the show. This was a proper main event for a Raw show, and it did exactly what it needed to do. But I am shocked that Seth got the win. But I'm wondering if Seth got the win because of the reported injury to Bron Breakker. If Bron Breakker is really out, it did make sense for Seth Rollins to win this, because now Seth Rollins is in a not a Money in the Bank, a King of the Ring qualifying match. He would be probably the dark horse to win this if it's not Oba Femi. So we'll see what happens there. But Seth Rollins got the win, and as I said, the vision continues to be cursed. And for Bron Breakker, hopefully the injury is not significant, but that's really tough. Speaking of the vision, Maxxine Dupri, Adam Pearce had her fucked up last night. She needed to know why, after the year she's had becoming Intercontinental Champion and everything, that she's not in the Queen of the Ring tournament. And Adam Pearce is like, oh, it's a loaded. How is it loaded? And you have to throw in freaking Liv Morgan, the women's world champion. That just doesn't make sense. But I appreciate Maxxine vouching for herself and going to bat for herself, adding those layers to her character that I think is going to be very important over the next several weeks. We'll see where it goes.